Welcome back. I'm Felix, and I have technically made it back to the gym, but not officially made it back. I went to the gym twice last week, and this week I went Tuesday, and I pushed myself. I really didn't push myself. It's what I've been doing. I did 30 minutes on the treadmill, but Tuesday, for some reason, my left calf muscle stopped functioning. It wouldn't bend, and then my right one started to go out as well. And I was like, I'll go to the gym today. But they're both still sore. It's like, what is going on? So I had to go see a endocrinologist, and he said he's going to check my potassium and my magnesium. And I haven't got the results yet, but yeah, it's weird. I can't get the energy up. I can't get the ability to work out up. Nah, I want to work out. I just can't because physically. It's weird. It's like I got rid of the excess water and now I can't work out, which sucks because I want to go work out. But yeah, hopefully maybe it's just low magnesium and I'll have to take something for it, get my magnesium back up. If that's the case, it's all good. But yeah, I was looking forward to be working out. I wanted to work out at least 3 times a week, doing a treadmill, just walking for 30 minutes. And that's all I was going to do for right now. Just get my cardio back up and walk in and have it be good, you know. But then McDonald's goes and brings the McRib back. Yeah, always around this time I think the McRib comes back now. But I know a lot of people don't like it, but I like it. I don't have a problem with it. You know, I'll eat 1 or 2 here and there. Probably, you'll notice also with the last 2 videos here, because this is the second to last video, I'm probably not going to edit it out as much. I'm just going to post it. But wait, real quick on the McRib. I've never had a problem with it. I know a lot of people don't like it and a lot of people like it. You know, it has a cult following, so there's a lot of people that like it. But yeah, me and my mom and sister were always like, "Oh, the McRib's back." We all go get at least go get one and be like, and most times that's enough for my mom. My sister and me might get 1 or I think a total of 3 altogether, and that's it. Probably the same for my mom. And then once we get a minimum 3, we're good. And, you know, we usually don't get any more. But yeah, my wife likes it as well. She'll get one. And my kids don't like it. And that's okay. I think it's more a nostalgia thing for a lot of us. This is why we like the McRib. Oh my God, what was the other thing? I should have made note of it because talking about the McRib. Well, anyways, something I do want to talk about. I went to the doctor today, and my mom wonders if I have white coat syndrome. That's where they make your blood pressure go up. Because I took my blood pressure at home, and it was fine. I get to the doctor's office, and it's high. And so I come home, and I have 2 high-end blood pressure cuffs. The expensive ones, like a couple $100s. And the reason I have 2 is I bought one myself and I got the other one for free with something that I didn't know I could get it for free. And both of them show my blood pressure low, top and bottom number. And it's like, maybe I do have it. And part of me also wonders if that particular nurse is taking it wrong. Because that particular nurse kind of seems, I can't explain it, but I'll just say, But yeah, my whole body has shifted since I got rid of the excess water. It doesn't function the same. It's so weird getting rid of that excess liquid in your body. Because yeah, I could push myself and just sweat out the excess liquid. I didn't realize how dependent I was on the excess liquid. But yeah, man. But as for I was talking about the podcast as well. As for the podcast, this is the second to the last one, so this is 99. I've been thinking about more and more, and I think I will just call it quits on the podcast for right now. I'll probably want to do the monthly thing. If something comes up that I want to talk about, I'll just make a video about it, and won't even classify it as a podcast. But yeah, it's I had fun in the beginning doing the podcast, and I think what it is I realized I need someone to play off of, and I don't have anyone to play off of. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a friend or something like that. Just someone to play off of. Preferably someone who's not an idiot. That would be nice. Someone I get along with. I jokingly always say I wish I had friends, but I don't want friends. I don't want to have to be a friend. I want to be able to call you up, do some stuff, and then don't call me. I'll call you when I need you. But I know that's not how friendships work. But yeah, it's just, I'm at that age where it's like, I'm okay not being around people. You guys piss me off too much. But as for the podcast, yeah, I feel like I'm not a person who can continually do this by themselves. So I'm not. I set out to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a podcast. I did one. I'll have 100 episodes that'll be out there for people to watch and enjoy. And, who knows, maybe one day someone will start watching them and blow up on me for some reason. But yeah, and this will just be another podcast that got abandoned. But I'm not going to stop making videos. I'm still going to do the Reddit stories. And I have another channel where I just do reacts or reactions. So I'll keep doing those 2 videos. It might make it easier now because I do 3 reactions in a row and post them like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And I just do one Reddit story. So maybe I'll start doing more Reddit stories. Because I've been wanting to do more Reddit stuff. Because it's not so much I'm doing Reddit stories. I call it Reddit stuff, just looking for stuff on Reddit. So maybe I'll do one where I just search stuff on Reddit and see what I can find. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, actually. I really enjoyed it. And one reason I was thinking about going monthly is because that way I can make notes, a long list of notes and just talk about different things. But now I'm kind of leaning towards maybe I won't. But I know there are podcasts who only post once a month. Maybe I should give it a try just to see how that goes. That may work out better. But we'll see. Was trying to get back to the gym and all my medical issues right now. Who knows? I did make some notes. There was something. Oh, this is something I found interesting. I'm sure a lot of people have noticed, and I've heard people talk about this before. When I noticed it primarily in like Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, I guess you could say the Asian languages, even kind of like Hindu as well, where I haven't noticed it in German, Spanish, French, any of those languages, but in more that like Asian area languages, I've noticed it where when they talk in their language, for the most part, their voices are a deeper tone to them. But when they speak American, their voice pitch changes. Sometimes it goes higher when they're speaking American. And you could say it's due to confidence when they're speaking the language. But I've noticed people who speak the language regularly, it does go a little higher. And I think it has to do with more the pronunciation of the words in our language and their language. Like Japanese language, their tone is usually lower. And even when I hear English-speaking people speak Japanese, their tone goes lower. And I always thought that was interesting. I've noticed this before loads of times. And what's funny is what made me think of that was a translated movie. Now, it wasn't actually the actor's voice speaking both languages, but it just reminded me of that. Because, like, I was watching this, Strong Girl Nasum on Netflix. And if you were curious whether or not I would recommend that show, I can't get caught you. That is one of those, if you do get into it, it's a guilty pleasure show. It was silly, ridiculous, and there was some continuity issues. There's a lot of continuity issues. And the romance moved way too fast. I don't know how much time was supposed to span in those 16 episodes, but it made it seem like I think it was supposed to be a couple months that went by. But it was weird the way they tried to cram so much into there. And really, it felt like the 2 lead characters had just gotten to know each other and already they're planning their marriage. But but I was watching that and I was curious what the Korean voices sounded like. Because I know a lot of the Korean voices, when they dub them, they get people who speak higher pitch for some reason. Or better yet, sound white. and I've never understood that. Because I'll go, like the guy from Squid Games, I got so used to the dub voice and seeing his face. When I actually heard his voice, it's like, oh, that's a much deeper voice. Even when he spoke English, it was a deeper voice. It's like, who the hell picked his voice for the dub? Like, you should have got a nice tone voice, a voice that matched him. I was like, who picked his voice for the dub? You guys dropped the ball. I mean, his voice sounded so much better. It was night and day. It's like, wow. But when I was watching Strong Girl, it made me think of that. You know, the pitch and the voice changing and going up and down. And because the lead character, they have a girl with a high-pitched voice doing the voice. But when you go back and watch the original language in Korean, her voice is actually lower. She has a lower voice. And I was just like, what the hell? Why'd you have such a high-pitched voice for the girl? And it's like, her voice is not that high-pitched. And it's not like she has a manly voice, but it is compared to the dub, her voice is much lower. It's probably a normal pitch for a Korean girl. It was just like, actually, I would say it's probably normal pitch for a normal female in the sense that it's not like, I can't do it. My voice won't do it. I used to be able to do high pitches, but not anymore. But yeah, it's just, I was like, why did you pick such an odd voice? It didn't make any sense. But yeah, that was something that I noticed that I was just like, wow. Oh my God. You know what? I'm sitting here looking and I realized I actually didn't make that many notes. I took today off and I was like, I'll do my podcast today. And now it's like, oh no. I know I said I wasn't going to do any editing, but clearly I'm going to do some editing. Oh no, I don't have any internet. Why don't I have internet? I tried to get on the internet just now and my internet won't load. Yeah, seriously, I have no internet. What is going on? Let's run some troubleshooting. Let's see. I can't hear. Oh my God. No, seriously, my internet just died. Let me try something. I'm hooking to my Wi-Fi because I have it plugged straight in, but it's not working. So we'll see what happens if I plug into the Wi-Fi. Okay, I'm back. I had to reset my router. Not sure what happened. I have a router upstairs and one downstairs. And the one upstairs just decided it wasn't going to work. So I had to reset it. And yeah. Oh my goodness. What was I going to talk about? I don't even remember now. Oh, I did think that's what one of the things I was going to talk about was relationships. Oh, hold on. I just saw a cool gadget. It's a ring. It's also a drone. That's pretty cool. I wonder if it actually works. The balance seems like it would be off to me. Relationships. Because I've been seeing a lot of videos about relationships. Like Abba and Preach have done some things about relationships. Like there was one video they just did where the girl broke up with her boyfriend and left him. And she expected him to come crawling back, fighting for her and stuff like that. But instead what he did, as everyone pointed out, he respected her boundaries. She said the relationship was over. He said okay and let her go. And if he had done all the things she claims that she wanted him to do, she probably would have called the police and called him a creep for stalking her. And I always hate hearing how women on the internet talking about, why didn't he fight for me? Why didn't he come after me? You dumped him. Now, most guys these days, likely most guys, even in the past, if you dump them, they're good. They move on because they're not trying to get that reputation. They're not trying to go after someone who doesn't want them. Why go after someone who doesn't want you? Just move on. And that's also why I always say that the internet only represents a small portion of people. Like, that's why I always make sure to say internet women, because real women in the real world are not like that. There are women like that in the real world, but most of them are not like that. So that's also what bugs me when people try to generalize everyone under one umbrella, like all men do this, all men do that. No, we don't. All women do this, all women do that. No, they don't. And it's like, there's a few that do that and there's a few that don't. Stop trying to generalize everyone under one thing, because it's just not a thing. And that was something else I saw. People were saying, or had a picture of Jadzia Dax from Deep Space Nine, talking about trans people exist and get over it and stuff like that. I was like, I understand why they chose her, but technically she's more gender fluid than trans, because they always want to give everything different classes. So I think she'd be more gender fluid because she can be any sex she wants to be. It's just a matter of the worm inside her belly switching from body to body. And then again, I was thinking about that. I said, technically, Jadzia is not trans in any way, shape, or form. And she's not gender fluid. Dax, the symbiote, is. The symbiote has no gender. It's gender neutral. So it's like, technically, I was wrong and they were wrong. Jadzia is a female who's open-minded. She'll mess with women and men. And so if anything, she's bi. That should have been more of a poster for bi people. But as for trans people, no, that's actually wrong. Anyone probably a better example of trans person would be a changeling. Because technically changelings don't have a sex. They can be whatever sex they want. And they choose their sex, and they can change their sex. They don't have to be male. They don't have to be female. So there's that. I just remember that. I was just thinking about that. I was like, technically, Jadzia is neither. She's not trans. She's not gender fluid. She's gay or bi. She's into whatever. So, yeah. Next time you think about using Jadzia, I would say don't. I would say use a changeling. There's another species. There was a species in Star Trek. Was it Final Frontier? The last one that had the original Star Trek crew. Iman played the character. It turns out she was a shapeshifter. And she could be male or female. I don't know what that species was called, but that would be a good example of trans or gender fluid as well. But Jadzia and Ezri both are not examples of trans or gender fluid. Now that I think about it. So I get what they were going for, but in all actuality, they were actually wrong. So, but that was something that just popped in my head that I was thinking about. Now, as for this video, this will probably be a short video. I was trying to get a little longer, but I made some notes and I thought I'd be talking about this stuff longer, but now that I'm reading over my notes, I realized what I did is I rewrote the same thing over and over for the most part. It's basically the same thing. And it's just like, how did I pull that off? I think I thought I was coming up with something new, and reality was I wasn't. So I was going to do, every now and again I will go through Yahoo News. I used to do that. I just going to go scroll through it and see if I can find something. But a lot of this is celebrity news I don't care about. Like one thing was Nick Cannon's kids with Mariah Carey. They're twins, and the daughter says she only has one brother. So they don't recognize the other siblings, and I don't blame them, because dad went out there and just was popping them out. And unless you spend time together, you're not going to recognize the other siblings. You know they exist, but it doesn't mean anything to you. And then what was the other thing I saw? And Kim Kardashian pretty much letting her daughter run wild, from what the article was saying. How she's just not even a teenager yet, is she? Or is she like preteen? Because last time I heard, I don't think she was even a teenager yet. And now I was like, she's letting her do all that? So, but the rich, let your kids get away with a lot of things. What was the other thing? I can't remember what the other thing was. Something else caught my attention. Here's the thing where scrolling through Yahoo, a lot of times the stories will reset on you as you scroll through, and then you're just like, where did it go? Oh, here's something. Terrifying looking robot powers up and immediately declares human is a resource to be manipulated and eliminated. Hey, we're already being manipulated, and technically we're being eliminated by ourselves. We're doing that to each other. Oh, here it is. Underfar. Are those real tattoos? She got blacked out teeth. That's just from the pictures, no article. Oh yeah, she's 12. I hope those aren't real tattoos. Yeah, I'm gonna say absentee parent. Yeah, I understand being a celebrity and letting your kids do whatever you want. Because you got the money and you're just like, I'll let my kids do whatever they want. It's like, and there was something else I saw, and now it's like gone. Yeah, so I must have refreshed it without even realizing it. Britney Spears still going crazy. I think they need to check in on her again. I think the way they did that conservatorship over her was done wrong, because she ended up turning against her. Because she turned against her family, so they definitely. I don't think anything was done correctly with that. There was so much stuff that was suspect with her conservatorship over her. It's just like, this needs to be fixed. And then to here, yeah, Britney, but especially right now, they do need to check on Britney Spears, because I think she's having a mental breakdown. Oh, that's something I can talk about. Weight loss, celebrity weight loss. Especially with women. I notice more with women than men. One, because the biggest thing with women is a lot of celebrity women will push the narrative, big and beautiful, curvy, curvy, curvy. And then they go and lose all the weight. And it's like, maybe you should have just been honest from the start that you didn't like being heavy. And I can't recall the last time I met or seen a woman who was just honest about it. Like, they didn't like being heavy, and they weren't trying to push that narrative of big and beautiful. Especially celebrity women. As for celebrity men, they never really pushed the narrative of big and beautiful, big and handsome. They were talking about how they wish they could lose the weight and trying to lose the weight. And they go to lose the weight and they get celebrated for it. But the women get hated on. And it's partially their fault. I'm not saying it's all celebrity women who do that big and beautiful, push that narrative. But like Meghan Trainor, she was pushing that narrative and fans are hating on her. Lizzo pushed that narrative and fans started hating on her. But now with Lizzo, she did kind of start to get away from that big and beautiful thing and started focusing on weight. But the problem is she pushed that big and beautiful for so long, you can't just run away from it. And then the comedian Monique, she pushed that big and beautiful. You would have like a beauty pageant for big people. And then she had to go lose weight. Well, I think hers was more medical reasons she had to lose it. But still, the point is, that was part of her whole stick, is that she's big and beautiful and all that. I was never really a Monique fan at all. I think my wife liked her a little bit. But yeah, we're not Monique fans. Never have been. But yeah, now Adele, I never heard Adele push that stereotype of big and beautiful. She was just being herself, making music. But when Adele lost weight, her fans like lashed out at her. So yeah, stop that. First off, if they want to lose the weight, let them lose the weight. And secondly, if you're a female celebrity, don't push that narrative. Don't ever push the narrative of big and beautiful. And mainly because, especially if you're unhappy in your own skin. If you're not happy in your own skin, then don't push that narrative. And in some cases, I've seen people get fat shamed like, why are you fat shaming a skinny person? It's like they're not like a size 0, but they're still skinny. And it's like, do you understand what fat is? I understand you're like 2x4s, but she's not a 2x4. That's really the only distance. Like she really is, she has curves and she's not fat. Most times they're like fit, somewhere around the fit to not fit range. They're still active and stuff. And they don't have a gut, but yet people are just like, they're fat. It's like, where are you looking? It's like, Jesus, get over yourself. And there's something interesting about that too. When the fat shaming stuff, majority of the time, I don't see fat shaming from men as much as I do from women. Women, you guys will tear on each other as quickly as you can, as long as you can, and you guys will get nasty about it. And generally when I see it from men, it's usually from men who, one, if they actually had a chance to meet that person, wouldn't stand a chance. They wouldn't even know how to talk to the person. They just, and go home and just self-satisfy. But yeah, it's like generally, if it's the guy doing it, they're a toad. They're an a-hole, all the above, just not a generally nice person. Or one of those red pill guys. Oh, that's something else. Red pill. I gotta remember that. Red pill. But yeah, it's generally guys who are red pill, the alpha male bullcrap. But as for women, it varies. I'll see women from all walks of life just tearing into each other. That's why when I worked my last job where it was all women, I hated it. Those women were so fake. It wasn't even funny. And what's funny is before that job, I did work in an environment where there was all women and it was nothing like that. And it's like, so it depends on the women. Sometimes you can get a good mix of women who work well together, and sometimes you'll get women who are just fake as can be. And those women are horrible to be around. But yeah, I think women in general should stop pushing that narrative, big and beautiful, mainly because most of those women are not comfortable in their own skin. If you're comfortable in your own skin, that's one thing. And the problem with the biggest beautiful thing is that they made it seem like it applied to every big woman, and it does not. Beauty comes in all shapes and sizes, and so does ugly. And I know, but I've also have pointed out that what I find attractive versus what you find attractive are not the same thing. But there are times where we're on the same page. You're like, no. But yeah, it's just, I think the problem with that biggest beauty, it really was supposed to be about accepting yourself when it came to that stuff. It's like, stop trying to pigeonhole yourself to this. Stop trying to be a size 0. Just be more conscious of what you're eating, take care of yourself, things like that. And somewhere along the line, it came out as, just be fat, eat as much as you want, don't ever work out. And that was a bad message to send. I'm fat mainly because over time I just got less active. Because I don't eat huge meals. I basically eat the same as though when I was younger. And once I realized that, I cut back and managed to drop 20 pounds to keep that 20 off. But I can't drop any more for some reason. And I feel like I'm not eating a lot, but clearly I'm still eating too much. So I've been trying to cut back, like right now. Sell myself out. I got a pop right here. So clearly I'm not doing a good job. And that's one thing, you have to be honest with yourself, which I'm being honest with myself. If I was eating smaller portions or the correct size portions, I would have lost the weight by now. I know that much. But it also didn't help that I was on the wrong pills, and the pills I was taking actually caused you to gain weight. But still, I think I still would have lost more weight if I was eating more cautiously. I don't believe going low carb is the answer. I believe just being more cautious and more conscious of what you're eating, and you'll lose the weight. But either way, these women who were pushing that narrative of big and beautiful shouldn't have pushed it, is really what it came down to. I believe I do believe in body positivity, but the problem is it's become body positivity only for women. It became body positivity to where, like I said, it's like, you don't have to lose the weight, just stay fat. And that was the wrong. To me, in the beginning, body positivity was about learning to accept yourself for who you are. So if you're fat, you need to learn to accept the reason you're fat. You need to understand why you're fat. And if you want to lose the weight, you first have to learn to love yourself. And what happens in a lot of cases is that people get this negative view of themselves, and they give up altogether. It's like, well, no point in trying to lose the weight. I'll just keep eating the same way. And it's like, that's where we mess up, is that we get that mindset and then we don't lose the weight. I had to change that. I'm still fighting to change that mindset. Well, I met my wife when I was getting fat. So I was getting laid when I was getting fatter. But now I'm like, I use that as an excuse because I wasn't in my 20s anymore. So I was like, I'm just going to keep using that as an excuse. And now it's coming back to bite me in the ass. I got a pear-shaped body, and I'm trying to lose that pear-shaped body. But I'm working on it. Oh, red pill, that's what it was. I saw where Sneeko, I guess, not a red pill anymore. If you don't know who Sneeko is, congratulations. Don't go looking him up. He's not worth looking up. But he's one of those red pillars with Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit and all them. And now he's not doing that stuff anymore. He's found God. And, hey, congratulations. He's found a new path. But the problem is, a lot of these people who find God, unless they stick with it for at least 10 to 20 years, I don't believe them. Because so many people find God and then they just abandon it. And one of the things I have a problem with people who find God like that is you have a lot of people in prison who will find God. You'll have a lot of people in certain situations find God. And my problem with that is, why only in these situations could you find God? I'm not a religious person, never have been, never will be, for my own reasons. But then a lot of times when they find God, they go to the extreme, and yeah, it's just like, I think I would believe you more if you found it more, if you were out of prison or out somewhere where you weren't just pigeonholed into this one area. I think I would believe it more, where if you were still doing the stuff you were doing and you found God and decided to change your ways to me, it feels like when you're in those situations, you don't have much to choose from. And a lot of them choose religion to focus their energy, and they become obsessed with it. That's why I said, if they were out and about, still living their life, and then they found it, I think I'd be more accepting of them finding God. I know that sounds crazy, but that's how I view it. And now Sneeko has found God. And the reason, now he does fit that narrative, he was still doing his stuff and then found God. But the reason I don't believe him is because he is a flip-flopper. He flips all over the place. He goes to wherever will make him money. Before he was doing skits, and then he was streaming, then he was just being mean and nasty, and then he discovered the red pill and went down that path. And now he's doing the religious thing. So the question is, if he keeps with it, doing the work, okay. According to ABBA, he's doing the work, so maybe he has found where he actually belongs. If he has, hey, more power to him. I just hope he doesn't decide to flip again. But yeah, he was in the video that Alvin Preacher watched, Sneeko was talking about red pill is dead. And when he was saying that, I was thinking about that. I was like, I really don't see a lot of alpha male or red pill stuff that much anymore. It's rare. And when I do see it, it's stuff that's old. I can't think of any new stuff or any new people in that area that have popped up where I'm like, gotta roll my eyes. And I just thought that was interesting. That maybe it finally died and it needs to die. Now if we can just get rid of these toxic females as well, who just man-hate the man-hate. It's like, he's breathing, I hate him, death to all men. It's like, what the hell? But on that note as well, I have seen more women coming out going, what is wrong with some of you women? and they're calling out women. More women are calling out these internet women which is nice because there's like the ones where the women leave relationships for no other reason than just to leave it. Now here's the thing. Here's my take on that though. Whether you're male or female, if you're not happy in a relationship, before you leave it, you need to find out why you're not happy in the relationship. If it turns out it's the relationship itself that you're not happy with, maybe it's what aspects of your relationship are you not happy, or have you come to the realization you just don't want to be in a relationship? And there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is a lot of these, mainly women who I've seen, I haven't really seen men do this. I haven't seen any men do this. The thing with women, when they do these videos, is they don't really list why they left the relationship. It's like they just left it on a whim. It's like, you just left your relationship to leave it? And in some cases, the way they talk is like they regret it now. And so those women are getting caught out. Now, if you left your relationship because you felt it was over, you felt it run its course, they didn't do anything wrong, they're a great person, it's just, for you, it just didn't fit anymore. And I can be okay with that. I can see that because relationships the problem is a lot of people only see relationships and then because something happened. Someone cheated, someone did this, someone did that. Relationships can end because they ended. And I think that's the problem for some of these women when they try to explain why they left. They're not doing a good job explaining. Like, I did see one where a woman just basically explained that she just didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And that's okay. At least she was honest about it. At least she didn't like try to string her husband along. A lot of people talk about, why didn't you get counseling? Why didn't you counseling is not always the answer. Sometimes if you feel like you need out of a relationship, you need out of a relationship. And that woman could have stayed in a relationship. It could have developed into resentment against her husband to the point where she cheated on her husband. And I think that's the problem in some relationships where they don't recognize that the relationship's over. It's been over and neither one wants to admit it. And then when someone finally does step up and say, hey, we're not really a couple anymore. We need to go our separate ways. And it's like one of them kind of tries to twist it to where like, you don't love me anymore. And it's like, it's not that I don't love you anymore. It's just, I just don't feel this relationship anymore. I don't feel like I belong in this relationship. And it's just over. There's nothing you can do about it. And I think that's where the problem lies, is that these women can't explain why they went out the relationship. When the reality is the relationship just ran its course. And I think that's something you should explore first before you leave the relationship. Maybe talk to a shrink. Maybe talk to more than one shrink, because there's a lot of bad shrinks out there, unfortunately. Try to find one, and talk to them, talk to 2 or 3. And they may all come to the same conclusion for you, that it sounds like you went out the relationship. And then they may start going into that, trying to figure out, why do you want out the relationship? What is it about the relationship you went out of? And you may just discover that it's not so much you fell out of love. It's just, maybe you don't feel like you can be you. And so it's time to get out the relationship. So that's something you should explore. It's like, why do you want out the relationship? Why does it feel like you need to get out of this relationship? And you might be surprised for the reasons. But I actually stretched this out longer than I thought it was. All right, everyone. Like I said, I got one more video. Oh my God. Muscle cramp in my foot. All I did was lift my foot up. Oh man, I need to get those test results back. See what the hell's going on. I get muscle cramps doing nothing. Oh, excuse me. Yesterday, I was goofing around and I got a muscle cramp in my stomach and my back at the exact same time. I'm sitting there trying to adjust my fat. I'm literally digging through my fat trying to get to the muscle or just get it to unclench. And it's like, what the hell? And I've been getting cramps in my stomach a lot lately. And in order to undo those, I have to stretch back. Well, it's kind of hard to do that when you're having a muscle cramp in your back. So I'm like leaning forward, twisting and trying to adjust. And I found the angle, but it was like a weird angle, but it was enough to where it pulled the muscle up front and it pulled the muscle in the back to where they could relax or not close in on themselves. Yeah, I can't wait to figure out what the hell's going on with that. I know it has to do with the fact that I don't have the excess fluid anymore. Because who knew how my body was so dependent on that excess fluid? All right. I got one more video to go. That'll be my last video. And again, I may call it quits on the podcast altogether and just go to a different avenue. That was the idea of the No Fun channel, is so I could just keep doing different types of video. And every now and again, maybe I'll still throw one of these out there, you know, just random. Like I'll come up with them. They'll be like, I'll make a list of things to go over and just, I'll do a once a year podcast. I don't know if that's a thing. It probably is, but maybe I'll do something like that. But otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.